Welcome to The Hard Truth. I'm here with my good friend Zack Brittain. We're going to talk about how to build a career in real estate, how to stay focused in real estate, how to scale and integrate your business in real estate.
Everything that you can think, cat pee carpet, bricks out of the basement, fireplace, filling windows with plywood because it's pouring rain and the window guy's 2 days late. I'm out there at 10:30 at night. Truthfully, that's just a ton of work. It's just a ton of really shitty work sometimes. And I wanted to just highlight that for anybody listening to this or watching this, no shortcuts. Any level of success beyond just pretty good, a shitload of work is the bare minimum. And I think people forget that. It's not for everybody. It's not straight up.
It's not
for everybody. So
it's not 100%. I don't care what your guru told you. Not everyone can do this.
I'm going to be in real estate for another 30, 40, 50 years. At this time, it's just don't mess up. I know enough to know that I can help myself and my clients and my partners make really good money. So just don't make mistakes now.
Welcome to The Hard Truth. I'm here with my good friend Zack Brittain. We're going to dive into all things real estate. We're going to talk about how to build a career in real estate, how to stay focused in real estate, how to scale and integrate your business in real estate, and we're going to have some fun along the way. So make sure to catch this episode. All right, so Zack, we're gonna talk a little bit about who you are, what you do in real estate. We're gonna dive into some topics around being a real estate professional, maybe the KW market,
yep.
ADUs, where you're going. Let's start with a little bit, who's Zack? What's your experience in real estate? Tell us about yourself.
I'm Zack Brittain. I'm 34 in July. The 30s sneak up on you.
They do.
I thought I was gonna be 25 forever. Oh my God. I got a 2-year-old now too. Life is coming fast. But I've been in real estate this is my 10th full year.
A decade.
Dude. What?
Right?
What? So it's humbling, but I never thought I'd be a real estate guy. That was never on the radar. I wanted to be finance, banking, money management. I studied economics and finance in uni, but I was one of those guys growing up. I never knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I knew I was always a little different. And I always knew I wanted to see where I could go, what I could do. So I was a big traveler when I was young. I took a couple of years out of school. I moved out real young, worked a bunch of jobs, and then my now business partner, he's the one that actually convinced me to get into real estate. He's like, hey, I met this guy. He sold a shitload of real estate. I'm going to sell some properties. I'm going to flip them. Man, we're going to make a ton of money. And I was 22, just got out of uni. I was like, man, what are we talking about here? This is before the Southern Ontario real estate really started booming too. I was like, what do you know? And then about a month goes by and he's like, hey man, I'm doing this. You should really take a serious look at this. So I was working a crappy entry-level job at the bank and then talked to his mentor. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. I quit my job on a Thursday, went into his office on the Monday. Cool. Never looking back. Didn't have my license, started just full-time real estate sales. Real estate agent, selling mom and dad's homes, helping my buddies and friends buy their first properties out of school, traditional real estate sales.
So you're a bona fide real estate investor now. We're going to talk about that. But before you started investing your money in real estate, you learned the real estate business, the transactional side.
How to meet clients, how to find deals. And the reason why I wanted to bring that was learning how to meet people and actually get a deal done was huge. And then from there, I'm like, okay, well, how do I make money? Because I want to take my money and invest it. So basically the first 5 years was sell and make as much money as I possibly can selling real estate. Did some flips, did some duplex conversions, did some triplex conversions, did some burrs, and figured out how to make money in that kind of mid to lower level investing in real estate. And then about 4 years ago, we made the transition into full-time real estate investor while still servicing, kind of our A clients that are still coming to us for their investment properties and their primary residences. So that was a big, personal shift for us was we know how to do the sales business. We have a good base of people there. All right, but we can bring way more value to ourselves and our partners and our investors if we just really focus on the sale or on the investing side. So last probably 3, maybe 4 years has been full-time investing with selling on top.
What you talked about how you started in real estate for 5 years selling, getting your own money before you start investing is a real a focus and shift. I think people are going to see this on my channel going forward, that we know how to do business with OPM, and doing business with OPM is super important. But before you take the responsibility of other people's money, you need to learn your craft. And I love what you did. You learned the ropes, you learned the business, you made your own money. We've talked about it off camera before. You put your money into deals, test your theories, Get your processes down. When you have it, then you go to OPM. And I think that's such an important message in today's world. So I love that we didn't even plan that, and that's exactly what you've done.
You guys have mentioned it on some of the other episodes as well, and I just think that's something that's so overlooked. And because like people will, watch content or see other people that are investing with some level of success and just think, okay, I can just borrow 300 grand from somebody, pay them 10, 15%, and I'll go make money on this flip. Whatever, random example. But like, guys, like maybe you should do a flip on your own first so you know what you're doing and you can confidently do that. And I was always just like, prove it to myself first and then let me bring my people that want to execute on these opportunities in. Because like, I need to know, like, soft desk hands, guys.
Yeah.
First project though, they're getting dirty. I'm digging holes. I'm like
demo, lugging all of it.
Everything that you can think: cat pee carpet, bricks out of the basement, fireplace, filling windows with plywood because it's pouring rain and the window guy's 2 days late. I'm out there at 10:30 at night after I just worked a full 12 hours. Like, that stuff is very like powerful, and like I needed to be able to look clients in the eyes and be like, this is how you do it because I've done it.
Right.
And so it was always like, oh, we could probably grow faster if we kind of adjusted our model a little bit differently, but it very quickly became like a don't lose money strategy in real estate investing, because it's just like there's enough opportunity. I'm going to be in real estate for another 30, 40, 50 years.
The staying power, the reputation, your brand, your name.
At this time, it's like, just don't mess up. I know enough to know that I can help myself and my clients and my partners make really good money. So just don't make mistakes now. You don't take those unnecessary risks. And I'm a risk taker.
Yep.
I'm a risk taker.
You calculate it though. You do your math. You do your numbers.
You have to. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a bunch of exciting stuff I want to talk about, but I want to stay back. You're a decade in the business. I want to go back 5 years, and I think I know the answer to it. When you and I believe your business partner Matt started buying assets, did you guys do 12 different strategies? Or what strategy did you focus on and master your craft on?
Good question. It was, and this is a piece of advice I've been giving a lot of people coming to our world, is our strategy was value add, small value add, with multiple exits.
Okay.
And I think where people lose their shirt is like, I have to execute on this one strategy. If that one strategy doesn't go perfectly, I'm like tied. I'm either losing money, selling at a loss, or I can't do anything and I have my capital sitting there and I'm SOL.
Okay.
And then that's when like, okay, well, how do I do more? I got to bring in borrowed money or new partners or other money, or I got to take other risks to make up for this, not super successful project. So we would do duplex conversions or triplex conversions. And if we could sell it for tomorrow's price, all right, now that's a flip. If I couldn't sell it for such a premium, I have a bunch of brand new units I can get market rents for. My refi numbers look good. Okay, great. I'm filling the units. I'm refining, doing it again.
So these duplex, triplex conversions, were you doing them all over southwestern Ontario?
Those ones were primarily just KW.
One area. So one strategy, duplex or triplex, one area.
Exactly. I lived in Kitchener-Waterloo. I was actively selling in Waterloo region, and I knew exactly I could walk into a property in like 2 minutes and be like, I could make money on this at this price.
And this is exactly what I'm trying to highlight here. That isn't sexy on social media. Buying ugly 60s bungalows and renovating them into duplexes to get tenants cat pee is not exciting on social media. But you and Matt built a real business on a simple strategy without being complex.
Yep.
And I absolutely love your exit. If I can sell it, great.
Everything's for sale, baby. Everything's for sale.
Great.
Yeah.
It's pragmatic numbers. It's highest and best use. What is the best way to exit this deal? Mm-hmm. And I have two great options.
Yeah, well, I sell for a profit. Well, no, actually, truthfully, when I started, it was sell for a profit, because then I can roll that into another one. Keep and refinance if that was sexy enough. And for the first one, it was like, oh, I could move into it. Okay. Like, I went from renting a freaking cockroach apartment in Etobicoke off the train tracks with my now wife to making $500 a month living in a brand new duplex that I just renovated.
Right.
Like, that was a huge jump for me, right? And so, but then I refinanced that first one, got all my money back. Classic Burr, because the market's going up so quick.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, we got something here. We did a couple of those, and we're like, okay, we got something here. We brought in some guys that are now partners in our construction business. They did a couple with us too, because they were involved in those projects. They saw what we were doing. They saw you could make some money on them with relatively low risk.
Yeah.
And an extra 30 to 80 grand for somebody that's making 60, 70, 80 grand a year is a ton of money. still a ton of money. And so, markets in Waterloo region blew up. We, were right place, right time.
Cool.
I tell clients I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week. It's just lucky that I'm pretty good too. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay, so the duplex, triplex, and then what I'm hearing is what I refer to, and it's known as a vertical integration. So you were growing quickly.
Yeah.
You had a strategy, you had a location, you had an area, you were masters of your craft, and now you started looking at the operational element of your business.
Yeah. Well,
you were outsourcing.
Yep.
And you built it in-source.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Yeah.
So there's only so much time in the day, Kyle. There's only so much time in the day, ladies and gentlemen. And you want a life, and I wanted a family, and I wanted to build. I think I said it before already. It's like I wanted a sustainable business. Like I knew I wanted to be in this space, but I also knew it's just like I can't be going to job sites to pick up pieces and move projects along at 10 o'clock at night anymore. I just can't do it. I got kids. Like I have other responsibilities, and truthfully, like it's just a ton of work. Like it's just a ton of really shitty work sometimes. And I wanted to just highlight that for anybody like listening to this or watching this, like no shortcuts. Like any level of success beyond just like pretty good, a shitload of work is the bare minimum. And I think people forget that. So I was like just burning at both ends, and we had success in our small projects, and we're just like, man, like we spent $1 million on renos one year for flips and duplex conversions. And one of our partners was running a painting contracting business. So he had experience like running crews, doing jobs. And we're just like, man, like just do this with us full time. So we started King Street Construction as a way to service our own deals, but also do all of our own clients. Because we have clients calling us being like, hey, I want to do duplex conversion. Hey, I need to do addition. Hey, I need to rent the basement. Hey, I'm going to do this flip. So like we could offer, contracting services because we've done all those deals before. And then we started seeing some opportunity for things like ADUs, tiny homes. They changed the zoning in our local market to allow 3 and then 4 units on lots. And we're just like, oh, that's half a step up from adding 1 unit. We can add 2 or 3 units on a property now. And it was just like step by step. Did a couple full home renos, did a couple flips, did a couple duplex conversions, did a couple ADUs. And then the market was like, oh, maybe these things are a thing for the construction business. So I was doing a ton of sales. We had set up the team to run the construction business. And, we just kept feeding the construction business with people that were already in our world that needed the services, other investors, other real estate agents, personal clients of ours. And it was just good value for us to say, hey, we have a team for that. Come in closer into our world. And then I also know they're going to get taken care of because I have my finger on the pulse of the construction business as well. So it's like I can provide value to pretty much every level of my client on the construction and renovation side, but I can also, use that as a way to have a more predictable result and make a little bit of money on construction.
So you're saying we can't just flip from hundreds of thousands of dollars without a business. You have to actually build this and build a real company and enterprise.
Yes.
To do this.
Yes, exactly what I'm saying. Yes. If you want it to be sustainable, and the thing is, you want it to be sustainable. Listen, in the market's going up 10 grand a month, lots of people can make easy money. It's a little bit more room for error, let's say. But if you want to make it a real business, like you're not going to hit a home run on every deal.
The way I'm looking at today's marketplace is you have one of 2 options. You build a real business that does this, or you invest with a successful business that does.
And it's 100%.
The one-off
one sentence
flipper,
to sum it up is perfect.
The one-off flipper who didn't have that integrated company and the experience and all of that stuff, their mistakes were being hidden by runaway inflation.
Exactly. It's too competitive now. It's too tight.
The guys like you, who are the realtors, who have all the access,
and even
you're not going to miss a good deal. If there's a good deal on the market, you're taking it. Let's call it.
It's true. To be clear though, like if we have clients looking for those deals,
of course, yeah.
I am more than happy to. A happy client that's going to make good money.
Yes, I don't mean it like that.
No, 100%. But that we get that question sometimes. Yeah. People are like, I know you do these types of deals. If you see such a good deal, how come you don't take it? It's just like, I could give you a fish, or I could teach you how to fish. If I teach you how to fish, you're going to do 30 deals with me over the next 20 years. You're going to make way more money. I'm going to make way more money. But like, yeah, it's just like there's so many things that can go wrong, even on small real estate deals, that are going to take so much time and energy, so much stress. Forget about the money. Like you lose 10, 20, 30 grand on a deal. I know that's a lot of money, but like a year of stress when you have a career, you have a family, you have like a life, that's not even worth it. That's not worth it. So we have the investors that are trying to get started and like they're going to make a go of it and take it really seriously.
Yep.
Because they have either jobs or careers that will let them kind of exit that and like execute well full time. And then I got other people that are like really good careers, have families, have responsibilities, and don't want the added stress. All right, they'll come to us and say, hey, let's partner on these types of deals. You know, we want to know what's going on, but we don't want to be on the job site. I don't want to be the one negotiating the contracts. I don't want to order the materials. I don't want to do the permits, but like, I like real estate and I want to be involved there. Those are kind of the two worlds that we're really working with the most.
I like it. And what you talked about in the beginning, which a lot of people in this space have had success, is the abundance mindset. Those people who ask you, you know, are you going to take the deals? At the end of the day, there's lots of great deals.
There's so many good deals.
So much to go around.
It's not the deals, it's executing on them that is the hardest thing. Don't get me wrong, finding really good deals, like there's a skill to that.
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's not like easy to do that all the time, but like good deals are made. They don't follow the sky. Good deals are made. And what I mean by that is like, can I get to a deal first? Can I get to a deal where somebody trusts me? Can I get to a deal where they know I can execute on it? Can I get to a deal where I can offer them that value as the seller? Like we could talk about how to put the deal together for a whole day, but the casual investor that thinks they're gonna walk in and make 100 G's on a flip or do a perfect burr on their first project, whether it's a 2-unit or a 10-unit, I wish you all the success, and I hope for your sake you do very well, but it's so hard with how competitive our market is and how expensive things are. It's hard. It's really freaking hard.
What you said about good deals are made. It's one of the things that I can tell between successive investors, and this isn't hard and fast, but when I get a client send me a message with a realtor link saying, what do you think? It's so hard to answer. And first of all, I want to give the person credit. They're trying. They're trying. And this isn't to put that person down. If somebody sent me that email, don't think I mocked you or thought bad of you.
It's not a bad question, but it's not specific enough.
It's not specific. You need to send that, hey, I see this listing. Here's what I see. Yeah. I think I could do an ADU. I think I could do a duplex. Here's the motivation of the seller. You got to make a deal there. Can you still get a good deal on MLS? Absolutely. So for sure you can. But are you going to get a good deal from just clicking on the link and offering? You have to make and find a deal. You have to have a great real estate team that can negotiate the terms of the contract, the price of the deal, all of those things. So you have to make the deal. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody. It's not straight up.
It's not
for everybody. So
it's not 100%. I don't care what your guru told you. Not everyone can do this. Here's what I want to say. Can everyone invest in real estate? Yeah. There are now funds available that you can put your capital into and invest in real estate.
And you can do really
well. And everyone can do that. Can everyone be a real estate operator? The reality is some people just aren't built for it, and it's not going to benefit you.
No.
Partner with a guy like Zach. Partner with a fund. Partner with somebody who has the experience. Get a taste for it there,
100%.
And if you like it, then go do it.
So that whole model is exactly what I've always done. So my partner Matt Phipps had done a duplex conversion, and I'm going to the job site between showings and between meetings. I want to know what's going on. I'm watching him talk to his contractor. I'm watching him go through the permit and design process. And so when he was wrapping it up and I had enough cash to go buy mine, I was like, we're going to sit down and talk about this. Just everything, right? And he's my partner. He's my best friend. So I already know what's going on, but I'm like, sit me down and give me this. So then I remember the first deal I got, he called me. He's like, hey, I just looked this one. If you don't buy it, I'm going to. Shit. So I walked in, after 5 minutes, I was like, crap, I gotta buy this. But like, I had already settled up because I knew that I was active enough and capable enough in that space and I had the capacity to do it, but like self-awareness. So one of our partners in the construction business, his name's Nick, love him. My oldest friend. I've known him since I was like 5 years old playing hockey at Wilson Arena in Kitchener. Okay. Oh yeah. And for like anybody, for any of his flaws, he's one of the most self-aware individuals I've ever met. Nick knows exactly who he is, what he is good at, what he is bad at, and how to navigate the bad stuff so he can focus on the good stuff. And not to say like bad stuff isn't like bad negative things in life, but things that he just not as comfortable with, and so like that just really resonated with me is like, what is my value? Like, what am I good at? What can I bring value to? What is my competency? Like, how can I really fit in? And like, what am I really going to be capable of? And like, obviously I'm going to push myself, but it's just like the self-awareness is like so key for an investor. If you're not going to be the one that's willing to go to the frickin' house because it's pouring rain and your window guy's 2 days late and you got to put in some frickin' barricades so your new basement doesn't flood.
Don't you?
Dude, I remember driving to it in my suit with my clothes in the back and being like, Can I swear?
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. You wanted to be a real estate investor. I swear to God, I said the words out loud. I was like, you're such a fucking idiot. You want to be a real estate investor. And I mean, it ended up working out, but you're just like.
We'll see how that affects the algorithm, but I'm okay with it.
I was willing to do that, but like other people that aren't, that means that their project's now going to be 3 weeks behind because they just push dates. But I'm like, I'm not willing to let that slide. So I'm going to go take care of it.
You're battling. You're battling for the bottom line.
And you don't have to do that to be successful, but you have to have the mindset of like, I'm getting this done.
Do you have to do the window to be successful? No, but you have to fight for the dollars. You have to fight for your bottom line. And it goes back to the 2020, nobody was fighting and everyone was still getting away. And the guys who are hanging on right now and getting through this are the ones who fought for every dollar along the way, negotiated the terms, and battled for their bottom line in their business.
Can you make it happen? I think can you make a deal? Deals are made. Can you make it happen?
Yeah.
And not everybody can, and that's okay, but you can still make a great return. You can still get awesome experience and awesome exposure into real estate, even though you're not the one that's in the trenches.
Yep.
You totally can.
Cool. So I have a very linear mind on how I look at things. And so we did 5 years as a sales professional. We built that up. We almost another 5 years building a repeatable, I'm going to call it boring strategy. Your properties look beautiful.
Boring's good, baby.
Boring strategy.
Boring's good.
You've now expanded in the vertically integration business and the King Street Construction, shameless plug, I love it.
Yep.
Talk to me about where King Street Construction's at, and there's kind of one strategy that's kind of your bread and butter. I obviously do a lot more than that one strategy, but I really love this message that you're sending of get focused and do the strategy. So talk about King Street.
So we started doing renos, we were doing our duplex conversions, we were doing basement conversions, and then regulations kind of changed, policy changed, where you could do 3 to 4 units on pretty much any residential lot in Kitchener, 3 units on any residential lot in Ontario. And they came out with detached garden suites, ADUs, those types of products. And we said, well, shit, there wasn't that many good deals in the market. So instead of buying a new asset, we added value to a current one. We had a property we converted to a legal duplex, and we refinanced it. And then we took a HELOC on it, and then we put the ADU, put a new mortgage on it, and we were making an extra couple $100 a month just to go build the ADU. I'm like, oh. So I just added a brand new 850 square foot 2-bedroom, not rent controlled, like beautiful, and I'm net up a few $100 a month just to do that. Oh, could be onto something. So we built that one with King Street, and then we're like, oh, these kind of make a lot of sense. A lot of multi-generational families, a lot of investors that had equity and needed space but didn't want to go buy a condo or go move across town or move grandma and grandpa into an apartment or whatever. And the market just really kind of picked up. There's a big demand for the ADUs, so we started really double down on that. We figured out kind of how to systematize the build. We figured out how to get a couple model designs that appealed to a few different types of the market, whether it be the downsizers, the multi-gen families, the mature kids that just needed a small, clean place to live on the cheap, or the investors that just needed the best value for the space and the rental income. And so we just started building a crap load of ADUs. So we've built, I want to say almost 20 by the end of this year.
Wow.
And so King Street Construction, we've really focused on, building as economically as we can, and then if clients come to us with specific needs,
of course.
Hey, I want a big sliding door here for my grandma or for my mom because they want a big open living room. They only need 1 bedroom. No,
right.
Okay, make one decent sized bedroom and focus on making living space better. Okay. Or investors say, hey, I want to maximize my rental income. Okay, put it at this section of your lot, build it this way, put in 2 bedrooms, put in these features because you'll be able to charge extra rent, or you'll be able to pass utilities off to the tenant instead of incurring those as the investor. And as an investor, I can have those conversations, but also I've worked with tons of homeowners. I have a mom, I have a grandma. I work with clients that are multi-generational.
We all have moms.
Right. I have a mom just like you. So I know what they need. I know what the marketplace is like for people in the position where they have different needs than their property can't give them. So it was really easy to kind of serve that up on a platter for potential clients and be like, hey, we work with you types of people. We know what the world's like.
So when one of the ADU bylaws was being passed in Kitchener, I got a random call from CTV News, and they asked me they heard I'm an investor, they heard I'm in mortgages, they asked my opinion.
Free press, baby, let's go.
I was like, heck yeah, I'm in. Or hell yeah, we're swearing today. So what happened is the feedback they were getting was they thought this was going to be like this investor rush, and all the NIMBYs were going to be upset because all these investors were going to build these ADUs, and it's all about making money. Maybe you have a percentage. Is it, and you've already said this, it's not all investors.
I thought it was going to be like 70-30 investors. 70 investors, 30 homeowners. Other way around.
Yeah.
Totally the other way around. And I think because investors are a little bit more tight to like, and they don't have as much of a need. That's more of a want.
Yeah, I'd like to put an ADU.
I'd like to add value to this asset, and I'd like to make a little bit more money every month on this asset.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't need that. You have families that are downsizing or relocating that don't want to go spend 400, 500 grand on a condo and live downtown Kitchener or uptown Waterloo, but their kids have a detached home in a nice neighborhood. Okay, like I can go build something for 200, 300 grand that's going to be better than the condo, and I get to see the grandkids every day.
I can go down to Florida, lock it up in the winter. Like that's what I'm hearing. I want to build parents, I want to build a little house in my kids' backyard so I can see my grandkids and go to Florida.
Done. Like it's brand new and you build exactly what you want. And like, don't get me wrong, things aren't cheap, but like the value you get for them is insane. And if I was a single individual living in the condo, life would be great because no responsibilities. I'm not cutting grass. I'm not worried about roofs leaking. But just like you're building a brand new house in your backyard, like 850 square feet, nice big 2 bedrooms, vaulted ceilings, laundry in there, separate hydro, your own furnace. We put fireplaces. We've done walkout basements. Like you're building a house.
Yeah.
So it's the niche we've really carved out is kind of those multi-gen families or kids helping their mature parents kind of move on to downsize and have that retirement property they're comfortable with for 5, 10, 15 years. Yeah. And so like we're booking up. I think we maybe have 1 spot left this year. Like
amazing.
And that depends on a couple other projects we got on the go.
Cool. And then we got to wrap this up here. But what's next for your personal investment journey? What's your focus on now for
Good question. So I think like just shifting to focusing on investing full time was like a big mind shift. Not that it made perfect sense, but like I had to like tell myself like, hey, like you're an investor now. You're not selling and investing, like you're a real estate investor. And so for us, it was scale. We couldn't do enough in the smaller stuff, the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s to get to where I wanted to be. And like even off camera I talked about like, listen, like once you get to the point like you're worth a couple million, you're good. Like you can work a good job, save your money, be a decent little investor, and like you're good. As long as you don't spend your money like a donkey, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But I was just like, I know I was capable of kind of getting that 10, 20, 30. Like I just know how possible that is to get to my net worth to that space. And not just to hit that number, but to be like what that would provide me and my family and the opportunity that's there. Like I wanted that. And so we couldn't get there with our smaller stuff. So I started selling some of the duplexes and started buying some of the bigger stuff. So I am pretty much anything that's 15 plus unit multis in Southern Ontario. We'll look anywhere, and then develop. Okay. Develop. Like I needed a way to have an active business. So we're looking at, how can I do some semi-triplexes, some semi-fourplexes? How can I build a purpose-built 10 unit? Like I don't want to go right down building 100 unit complexes. Like I'm more of a step-by-step kind of guy, because at this stage in my career and where I'm at, it's just like I just can't lose. Like as long as I just don't lose and I stay in this game for 30, 40 years and you treat your people right, you should be pretty good. Like everybody wants it now. I want it now, Kyle.
Yeah.
But like, let's be realistic. In order to get like to huge levels now, I have to take insane risks. I have to be super lucky, and I have to make like some really crazy plays to pull that off. And I was like, you know what? I'm not willing to risk those types of things. I don't have those types of opportunities, and I know I'll get to where I need to be if I just go step by step. So
singles and doubles go a long way. So
hits win championships, man. Like I just got to hit the ball. So as long as I hit the ball long enough, I'm going to win.
It's you talk about the 30, 40 year career, and we talk about you're 34. I just turned 35. I still think of us as like the young guys. Like we're kind of not really the young guys anymore. We're kind of the middle age guys.
After we come out of this kind of like little dip we're in now, like we've gone through every cycle in our careers, right? Yeah. So I'll wrap it up real quick because I know we got a time here, but the big deal that we did was I sold a duplex and we bought a 34 unit.
Okay.
So I flipped a 2 unit into a 34 unit.
Okay.
And that was like our big deal last year. We wanted to buy a big multi-unit last year. We were kind of looking at some 20s, but this one came up and we're like, shite. I think we can do this. So, we brought in a couple partners. We bought it with 95% loan to value, 5% down, MLI Select.
Okay.
And that was like
we're going to make some extra time here. I want to talk about this.
Okay. So We were looking at deals. We were looking at raising. We had to raise a little bit of money anyway. We had a bunch of cash of our own. But we had a couple people that we were talking to us saying, "Hey Zach, we want to get into some deals, but we don't want to like take on all the responsibility." We had done some business with them before, so we found a 34 unit, 3-story walk-ups in London, and it qualified for MLI on affordability.
95 LTV. What 50-year AM? 45. And I know the answer, but why can't you do a 50-year AM on that building?
Well, we didn't want to get all the points and probably the age, actually.
The age, it's important.
For that one, we didn't even look at that because we weren't willing to get, I don't think we could make the DCR work, and I don't think the points that we got from it was like, that's all we're going to get, and the age of the building. Because I'm pretty sure that they'll do 5 years less the life expectancy.
5 years plus.
Sorry.
Yes.
5 years plus.
So they evaluate the economic life expectancy of the actual asset, and you can't amortize longer than that.
Yeah.
So, for example, on a 45-year AM, on the BCI report, the inspector needs to say that the economic life of the bricks and mortar is 50 years.
Yeah, it's going to be 50 years, so we'll give you the 45.
That's right.
Right? And so it's a 60s build. So there you go.
A 100-year, that makes perfect sense.
So they're like, the 45 is as much as you're going to get out of this, but the numbers work. So we're cash flow positive from day one. This is just like boring buy and hold. And the thing when I got into real estate investing was just like, I don't know too many poor guys that own a bunch of real estate for a long time. If it's an okay deal now and you can hold on for 30, 40 years, don't get me wrong, like you can min-max returns. There's lots of things we could do there, but just like oversimplify it. If I just own a bunch of real estate for 30 years, guys, I'm doing fine.
Well, and your baseline is you have an earned income strategy. You make money. You didn't quit your job. You built a job in real estate, right?
Yeah.
And it goes back to this doesn't get the clicks on YouTube.
I'm not
quit your job and buy a 34-plex.
Yeah.
You keep your job. You make money in your job. You put together a group of people. You buy a boring asset that you hold, and you all go back to work and keep making your money in your jobs, careers, and businesses. And you're going to turn it on in 5-10 years and say, "Holy shit. That's a good deal."
Got a nice little chunk in there, baby boy.
There's a good little nugget there.
Yeah. So it was like the long-term buy and hold is still very much alive.
Okay. So we do got to wrap this up, but I have a very, very serious question to finish this off. Where do you get the best donut?
Oh.
For those who don't know, Zach is
I didn't expect this. I thought this was going to be a business question. I was like, oh, shit.
Zach is a bit of a donut connoisseur.
Okay.
So where do we get the best donut?
I had one 2 weeks ago in London that actually blew my mind. The market in downtown London has a spot. Sorry, I have to plug. You have to check out my Instagram. I got the name of the shop there. But there is a spot in Toronto, the Donuttery. It's in a like boutique, grocery store shop in Leslieville.
Okay.
I'm not a Boston cream guy, but the guy looked at me, he's like, "You got to try the Boston cream." And I was like, "Dude, look me in the eyes and tell me this is going to be the best thing." He's like, "You will not regret it." I was like, "I hate these. I eat a bunch of donuts." Like, "Eat it." That one blew my mind.
Okay.
So the Donuttery in Toronto, and like, Dubrodnik's in Kitchener, Albert's in Cambridge, Granddad's in Hamilton. Like, I just want a classic chocolate dip. Give me a fresh classic chocolate dip. So I'll shout out those ones. That's all I'll give for now. But like, I get more questions. I get just as many questions on donuts as I do on real estate. It's such a good icebreaker. We fundraise money at the end of the year though too. So like, we auction off the last 10 and my clients will buy them and bid on them to raise money for the food bank. So, we have some fun with it. We get some cash for some people that need some.
Well, I had some, because the actual question that I end this with is, and we really talked about it the whole time, is what is the hard truth for a new investor? We talked about all sorts of...
Oh, that's easy. That's so easy. There's no shortcuts. Straight up. There's no shortcuts. It is going to take a crazy amount of work. It's worth it. Like, if you are somebody like, I want more out of life, I know I can push myself, I know I'm capable, and if you're willing to fall flat on your face and like just get up and keep going, like, do it. 100%, you will find success, but like, do not underscore how much work it actually is. Like, head down for 5 to 10 years, and you'll come out the other side and be like, looking good now. But in the trenches, like, you got to have the fortitude and you got to have the mindset to be like, I'm going to get this done no matter what. Like, I look at stuff and be like, it's already, if I make my decision on something, it's already done, because I have like fallen on my face, gone up and tried. So no shortcuts. It's going to take a crazy amount of work, but it is worth it.
Amazing. Thanks so much for being on here, Zach. We'll make sure your contact information is shared.
Thank you.
Definitely looking forward to having you on again.
This was fun. Thanks, Kyle.